Storied Night, taking topsy-turvy turns on the never-ending roller coasters, twisting beyond the circular rows, skipping clammy coals, landing on steepy roads, glancing beyond steeply mountains, falling upon hilly valleys, only to swerve around bending corners, glimpsing at the falling glitzy trees, whispering like feeble lines, gone into mysterious damply winds, erecting once more into polluted living streams, dirted by warping minds, lost in vapid delusions, in the gutless gutter springing unbeknownst as life, full of fears, breathing fire onto already pressurized potholes, flaming silently before blinded folds, with deaf ears soullessly chanting a reversed song on deserted islands. Yet, not isolated from the butchered universe, lost in utter technological despair, screaming apathy absent of loving care, complete of gaping affection, sliming like worms full of muddy fondness, with tears blistering with deadened carousing deeds, in a world confounded with snarky selflessness. In the dead of night, it is there, all there, where whispers become like vipers, breathing excruciating hot flames into moldy ears, where passive souls have all been technologically zombified, mystified, fluffing like drunken bats in the stinging light, crisscrossing through the habitual night, gone in adverse illusions, parroting daily despairs, agitating without true care, in a world where every masked creature widens venomous smiles, full of misconstrued compassion, full of blistering love, in a maddening world, operating adverse of God, normalizing, formalizing lurking darkness, dissenting against God's supreme and purest loving care. Yes, it is there, all there, where sensible fears have been led to have been brazenly eroded. The bluest sky opens wide, speaking against the wayward souls, who have now lost their godly conscience in utter immorality, acting even against nature's purest norms, absent of pain, lurking in foaming clouds, gasping wickedly with violent viciousness against those with uncompromising godly moral souls, warning of surest damnation for going against God's holy norms. Yet, the darkest eyes continue to breathe, whispering through polluted nostrils, with broken hearts, singing a soon-to-be passing song. There, right there, in the decadent delusions of humankind, absent of true kindness, lies the hardened harmony, untouchable, uncompromising, even with all the duress, on the road not so long traveled, the fictitious gaze, stumping upon the falling, blistering mountain peak in the freezing air. It is the same seemingly eternal gasping air, singing its usual tumultuous songs, in tone deaf, bloody ears, clinging to the last tale told 80 years ago, its rhythm still vibrating in none sanitized, impure lobes, through dingy chords of passing time, with blooming dales, fluttering in vengeful winds, clinging to vicious valleys, that never fails, in the passage sails, on clumpy ocean gold, with the remembrance of songs clamping cold, refusing sincere repentance, pleading for God's graceful forgiveness, words murmured, under cloudy tempestuous skies, by impetuous humanoids, in the depths of freezing hearts, gone in flustering deceptions, illusions gone wild, eternally falling in deaf ears, that mustn't hear of the faltered renewal for the hardy redemptive souls, tears escaping from burning eyes, many full of the usual, casual guile, with throbbing, mushy hearts, watery cold air, facing hearts lost into deadened avalanches, floating away into an abyss unknown to the universe, with hopes of no return. no thoughts of the resurrection. Utterly blundered in another destructive renaissance. Here, there, plead with God, thine Creator, to deafen thine ears. From their callous, brazenly slanderous speech to murder the innocent godly, righteous souls. Purposely pouring cancerous speech breathing death with no hopes of godly revival. To those who happily open their polluted ears to slander fragile spirits of God's children. Yes, the humanoids are conspicuously plotting with the fallen one to deter and destroy. They are gone. Mysteriously, unconsciously gone. They are content with eyes lost in a complete deluge absent of saddened tears. Yet, the crickets have burst into a torrent of droplets seeing their utter demise. Hear, listen, to the meager stillness of the night in the noble night, where the masculine crickets no longer chirp, ritually as nature deems to their courting female mates, to the silence of the vengeful earth, that no longer vibrates, nor rotates on its axis. Its rotations have abruptly ceased to be. Yet, humankind operating as humanoids, lost in their decadent defilement, in their fictitious demoralized tales, with eyes covered with flaming valleys, and minds lost in tumultuous passing fads, propelled as the best pleasurable coming night, only to disappear into the genocidal realities of a life soon to be forgotten in empty memories. Gone in the decadence of passing civilizations with no real, eternal treasures to be had, to be cherished. Gone in utter delusions, gone in their despicable, uncanny demise. Having replaced godly norms for fleeting pleasures that only leads to unresounding, eternal perdition. All the while contemplating of another tomorrow that can never be. Analyze attentively, as God demands, how the now chagrined tree leaves no longer converse with the fluttery chirpy birds, singing their ever soul-lifting silhouettes, breathing misery to uncanny nostrils. The soothing wind no longer render its praises to the leaves as they dance to its lifelong angelic songs. Every aspect of nature have ceased to operate to each other's tunes. Under a now grumbling darkened sky, desperate for the coming forth of God's true Mashiach, for the bringing forth of God's peaceful, just reality, and the utter end of all illusions, delusions,